Alright you guys, back with another video, and today I am bringing you an updated Shadow Priest guide for 7.2.5. There's been some changes going on, and I've been honestly feeling pretty bad for all the casters, these melee cleaves all over the place, and I wanted to update you guys with a new guide since the talent build has kind of changed, and I know many of you have been asking me to update and provide some more Shadow Priest content. But I do have a couple quick announcements before we start. Number one, I have released my own website. That is right, I have a website now called Stoopzz.com. Simple, easy, and on that website I will be updating and putting posts and blog posts regarding every single class, their spec, how viable they are, because many of you guys ask me questions all the time. Stoopzz, how do you feel about Feral? Stoopzz, how do you feel about Mage? Stoopzz, how do you feel about Warlocks? I cannot always make a video about every single class, but I can update this website with accurate, up-to-date information, thorough responses, general content around that class, patch updates, etc. And I will also be posting my podcast and a bunch of other things over there. But to ensure that you guys at home tune in to check out this website, I have decided to set up a little bit of a policy. Many of you ask me questions within the comment sections, and sometimes I miss them because there's so many. If you go over to my website and you ask me a question underneath the blog post, there's a simple comment section. You don't need to sign up for anything. You can leave a comment. If you leave me a comment over there, I promise you, it is my guarantee that I will get back to you within 24 to 36 hours. So that way, if you have any questions and I've missed it on YouTube, or it's a specific in-depth question, or if it's a long question, I don't care. Go ahead and send me the question over there at my website at Stoopzz.com, and I will get back to you guys right away. Now, announcement number two, I am going to start streaming on Twitch. Many of you have been asking me to start streaming on Twitch. I feel like it's a great idea. I don't see any harm in it, and it may cause growth for the channel, so I will post a new streaming schedule. That is right, I have a new stream schedule where you guys can count on me to be there. Unless I don't make it, you can check me out on Twitter and I'll update you there. But on the screen somewhere, you will see my new stream schedule, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll start off by going over to Twitch. That's right, Tuesday and Thursday, Twitch Tuesday, Twitch Thursday, easy to follow. Just check the schedule, see when I'll be on, check me out, tune in. I'm kind of opposed to doing a dual stream. I don't want to do a dual stream because I don't want to divide my audience in two different places. I want people to follow me over to different locations to grow the channel in these different areas. And again, it's all about growing our community. All right, going back to the Shadow Priest guide, we're going to go through this very fast. It's going to be a three-part guide. Part one is going to be our general talents. Part two will be our honor talents. And part three, I'll quickly provide an overview of what comps you can play as a Shadow Priest in this current meta. All right, so the great thing about this guide is that it is both applicable in BGs and arenas. You can almost use the same spec when going into both of those formats. But starting off in our general talents first, level 15, Twist of Fate is the best talent out of all these in my opinion. It provides more of a execution style gameplay, which is really beneficial when you're trying to close out the kill. As a Shadow Priest, you kind of struggle in that area, so it does kind of correct that issue. The next row, level 30, Body and Soul, it gives you the movement speed that is necessary to get around pillars and finish off kills as well. Level 45, you have Mind Bomb or Psychic Voice. They're both good to go options. Most of the time, you're going to run Mind Bomb unless you're running a CC heavy comp like Rogue, Shaman, Shadow Priest, God comp. Usually in those comps, you want to have a Fear. However, Mind Bomb is usually the go-to. Just make sure you're watching the enemy's dispels, and make sure before you apply Mind Bomb, you have your Vampiric Touch, so when they dispel the Mind Bomb, the enemy healer still gets horrified. Level 60, you're still going to go Reaper of Souls. It is going to add to Twist of Fate, and it is going to provide, once again, that execution style gameplay, which is very important. And for level 75, this is where things differ from the last guide that I had in the past. Before, we were going Sand Lane. Now we're going Shadowy Insight, and I'll explain why this is so powerful. Now, just by reading the description, it says Shadow Word Pain periodic damage has a 10% chance to reset the remaining cooldown on Mind Blast and cause your next Mind Blast to be an instant cast. This is really powerful in BGs and arenas, and I'll show you why. So I'm just going to start off by dotting all of these enemies over here. You can imagine this in a BG scenario, in an arena scenario, whatever. You're going to dot up everything, maybe the pets, and you'll see here that I'm getting this proc on my Mind Blast, making it instant. So I can target this guy, get an instant cast, Shadow Word Death, and it procced again, going to my Void form, another Mind Blast. So just one more time so we can show you how powerful it is. I'm going to spread my Shadow Word Pains all across the board here, get all my damage flowing, go into my Void form, and now I got a proc there. I can go to Void Bolt, Shadow Word Death, Shadow Word Death, maybe Mind Flay a little bit into a Void Bolt. I can hard cast one again, and then get another instant proc on it again. It resets the cooldown. I got another one there into a Shadow Word Death, into a Void Bolt, and I could see my Void form is just staying so stacked here. Another Mind Blast, and you can keep this damage up, keep it rolling, and get a lot of burst potential out and really buff up your DPS. Now for level 90, you can go into both Misery or Power Infusion. If you're new to the class, Misery is the way to go. It's just going to make it a lot easier for you to spread your Shadow Word Pains and your VTs at once without having to remember to keep one up or the other. But Power Infusion is going to apply and provide a lot of burst potential. So again, if you want to do a lot of damage with your Void Form and your Psy Fiend and all of your procs going off and all your dots, you can activate Power Infusion, giving you a lot of haste, and it's really going to increase your damage and increase your insanity generation by 25%. Level 100, you're still going to go into Legacy of the Void. It's just going to make it easier for you to go into your Void Form, which is going to make you tankier and deal more damage. Now onto our honor talents. You have to go Gladiator's Medallion for the most part. You need to control when you need to get out of CC, especially as a Shadow Priest, because if you get locked down, you may be in a lot of trouble. So I really prefer Gladiator's Medallion. You need to control the enemy CC, and that is the best way to do that. The next bracket is still Mind Quickness. It's just going to make it so that you have more haste, providing more damage and easier cast times. Now for the next bracket, people used to go Void Shield, but now I'm opting for Pure Shadow. It makes me tankier, it makes me heal more, but any of these options are still viable. Now for this next bracket, you have two choices. Once again, I've talked about these in the past. Void Origins is going to provide more burst potential because it makes Void Eruption an instant cast, so you can start getting into that Void Bolt, Mind Blast spam, Shadow Word Death spam, and you're not getting interrupted as much, and it's going to cause a lot more burst potential with Shadowy Insight, this talent over here. Driven to Madness is going to make it so you can go into Void Form much easier, but then you have to hard cast it. So overall, you'll probably get more DPS in the long run from Driven to Madness, but more burst potential from Void Origins. Now the real reason we're opting for Shadowy Insight is for this talent over here called Psychic Link. This talent really melds well together with Shadowy Insight. Mind Blast and Void Bolt now deal 30% damage to targets afflicted by your Shadow Word Pain. So everyone that has Shadow Word Pain on them is going to take that instant proc damage from your Mind Blast and your Void Bolt. So it's going to do a lot of spread pressure, and they really work well together in both BGs and arenas, and it really makes up for the loss of damage that you had from Sand Lane. Now for this last bracket, it's the same as before. You have Void Shift and Psy Fiend. Void Shift is the safer pick. It's going to give you an extra defensive. You can Void Shift your allies if they're about to die, or you can save yourself. Psy Fiend will provide a lot of extra burst potential, a lot of kill opportunities, and it's going to boost your overall DPS. All right, here we are in the sky once again. I'm just going to go over quickly the comps that you guys can run. Shadow Priests have a limited amount of comps right now, but they are still very powerful. They can go well together with a Rogue and a Resto Shaman. They can go well with a Resto Shaman and a Moonkin. They can go well together with a Resto Shaman and a Warrior. You really do need a Resto Shaman on your side. You can opt for a Holy Paladin right now. Paladins work well together with Shadow Priests because the amount of defensives, now that they are no longer using their melee wings, they have 2 sacks and 2 bops. That works really well with Shadow Priests. So you can opt for a Holy Paladin, Frost Mage, Shadow Priest, any Mage comp, God comp. Those work well together. That's gonna do it for this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you have any more questions about this guide or my website, you can leave in the comment section below and I'll get back to you guys right away. Try not to miss me on my YouTube and now to be Twitch live stream where I answer all of your guys' questions in depth. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you guys next time.